Some came by bus, driving hours across the country to gather in the Peak District. But it was worth the journey to be part of an event celebrating diversity and calling for action.
Less than 1% of visitors to National Park were BAME, and that's just not good enough. We make up 13% of the population, and the fact is that people think like being BIPOC means living in urban spaces, even though that there's been like a really long history of Black and Asian presence in the countryside.
Campaigners say people of colour aren't always able to access the countryside easily, but they say it's not just about how close you live to green spaces, it's also about feeling welcome.
There's still many issues, there's many barriers that actually hinder and prevent communities from getting outside. Islamophobia, racism is one of those that has affected our community before.
Haroon Mota is one of the ramblers here. He set up a group for Muslim hikers.
There's so much underrepresentation for ethnic minority communities, and for myself being a British Asian Muslim, I've found that growing up here. I only live down the road in Coventry, but I didn't know this place existed, and that comes down to cultural and lifestyle norms that don't have the outdoors embedded within them.
It's for all the people of colour in this space.
After some speeches, the group set off.
They're walking across Kinder Scout. It's the highest point in the Peak District, and it's a symbolic site where 90 years ago a mass trespass took place. Many look back on it as the start of a movement that led to the foundation of Britain's national parks.
Hundreds of protesters descended on what was then private land, demanding access for all. Some were arrested and even jailed, but almost 2 decades later, the peaks became public. Today, some feel there's still a long way to go and want more of the country to be accessible to all.
It's a huge postcode lottery, so 92% of the countryside is locked away. You cannot roam, you cannot wander.
The government has shelved a report looking at how much of England is open to walkers.
I think we are blessed in this country with hundreds of thousands of miles of public footpath to allow people to access the countryside. And we have to recognise that the countryside is not just a place of leisure, it is also a place of business and food production.
The Right to Roam campaign has more action planned across the country. They say lockdown highlighted the physical and mental benefits of being close to nature, and they want more people to be able to spend time in the wild. Becky Cottrell, Sky News, the Peak District.